Okay, y'all, so let's not waste any time and get right into girl chat.
Okay, yeah, let's get right into it, Jeannie Mai. You know, the internet went crazy because you put up a post, right? Now, first of all, I want to say you put up a post, and we appreciate that, Jeannie. It was of your backdrop and the behind the scenes
Our
of this
home
whole
stations,
setup.
yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, and
And?
but you know what? It's what you said that has everybody talking. Because your boo left you a little message, but let me just play it so everybody can see what I saw.
Set up here so we can come to you live from our home studio. But the best part is, look at my good luck charm for today. My note from my beautiful husband. I love him so much.
Jeannie,
Where's the lie? I don't see a problem. Guys, first of all,
I need an explanation.
No, there has not been a wedding because you guys would of course know. But second of all, when you say yes, you should already look at that person like your husband. I mean, when I said yes, if I wasn't comfortable calling him my husband, I wouldn't say yes in the first place. And by the way, guys call their ladies wifeys all the time. Why is it okay?
You look amazing in that photo.
So,
Thank you so much.
so there wasn't a trip to the courthouse.
Wait,
Jeannie,
no,
wait, Jeannie, we ain't off
Guys,
you yet.
trust me, if there was a wedding, the entire country of Vietnam would know. You think you're not gonna hear about it?
Okay. I was like, when I saw it, I was like, wait a minute. Did she have a ring on yesterday and I missed it? Was there a ring? Oh my God, did she get married?
So just so I understand, because this really is new to me, you think it's weird because a woman is calling him a husband, or is it that you just aren't supposed to use that title until you're married, but it's okay for guys to say wifey because there's a Y at the end? Explain to me where it's okay and where it's off until...
Okay. For me, can I explain
off?
real quick? And then I want, because Adrian is married, Garcelle's been married, but for a lot of us, you're engaged. We're waiting to hear about the wedding, so we were just surprised by it. And so that's why everybody wanted to know, like maybe y'all went to the courthouse, maybe y'all already did it, maybe I wasn't invited as the flower girl like I'm supposed to be. That's all.
I just want, if the real posts this on Instagram, please comment below if any of my ladies out there understand that when you're so in love and you've already said yes and you are engaged, but you look at that person like your husband, you have no problem calling him that. Whether you're engaged or not. They say wifey, we can say husband. There's nothing wrong with that. Adrian, feel me?
I'm
No?
also
Yes?
curious, Jeannie, have you guys had to move your planned wedding date? Like at this point, would he technically have already been your husband?
That's a great question. I considered him that when I said yes. I honestly felt that affirmed in my decision. So yes, but we're gonna get into that because I just think it's really difficult at this time of 2020. There's so many things that we have prioritized that planning a wedding doesn't feel right in my soul. It doesn't, it's not, I'd have to make myself do it. It's not something I wake up thinking about. I'm waking up thinking about the fact that a lot of my relatives are out of jobs. I'm thinking about the fact that, you know, we have to move our situations to make sure we protect our kids and my mom. Like there's things that are much more important at this time. So yeah, we would be, but spiritually we feel
I'm not
connected
gonna lie,
enough.
it crossed my mind for like the slightest second that like,
Did it?
maybe they would get married like in a courthouse and then do the wedding ceremony later on. But I agree with you. I definitely referred to Israel as my husband. I was more fiance, like, oh, my fiance.
Right.
But I definitely called him my husband at some point. You're getting your practice in leading up to. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. To each his own. If you feel comfortable and that's your husband already in your spirit, which hopefully it already should be, I see no problem.
We're not saying that it's wrong, Jeannie. We just being nosy. We're not saying that it's wrong.
All right, well, you guys know the truth, so you heard it first. Okay.
We heard it first, and we better be invited. That's all I'm saying. Listen, I don't know if you guys heard this, but the chief of police of Louisville is the place where Breonna Taylor was shot and killed. So the police chief has ordered a state of emergency before they declare what's going to happen to those police officers. So when he declares a state of emergency, that means no officers can be off on that day. They need all hands on deck. But my thing is, why are you declaring a state of emergency prior to the decision? Does that mean you already know what the decision is? Does that mean that, for me, when you're boarding up, buildings, making sure all the police officers are available, you're getting ready for something. We board up when there's a hurricane. We prepare before an earthquake. So for me, him already declaring a state of emergency makes it feel like he already knows what it's going to be, whether they're going to be left off, sort of the charges dropped from them, or what's going to happen. What do you guys think about him declaring a state of emergency?
They ready. I mean, they're getting ready for a riot. That's it. They're getting ready for looting. They're getting ready for trouble, because it more than likely these police officers will be let off by the grand jury. So I think they're just taking it as a precaution. I don't know if they know yet, because the grand jury is supposed to be secret. So I think they're anticipating, and based on that, they're just trying to get the city ready.
Right. That's how I
think
feel
that
too.
it is very scary to know that I think they're almost intentionally trying to incite riots, already setting people up to loot and do these things with the idea that justice won't be served, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I understand why people would be outraged, as I already am just thinking about it, because 100 million% the officers should be charged, and I just don't understand why they haven't been already. So I understand why people would be enraged and why they might act out. With that being said, Sean King actually tweeted a post that it was important. Do not read too much into Louisville being placed in a state of emergency. It does mean that a decision is coming soon on Breonna's case. It does not mean anything particular about the decision. The Kentucky State Police do not know what the decision is either way. So I just think that this announcement was somewhat made to create that nervous energy, because it actually ends up being good for Trump. He wants people to get riled up and lash out, because it creates a false narrative that these people are completely out of control. When I say these people, those that are furious about justice not being served for Breonna Taylor. So don't feed into...
I agree with you. And I feel like because of the settlement that the family got, I hope they don't feel like just because that was done, so now they can drop the charges on the police officers. Because we've been... shouting, yelling, Breonna Taylor for so long, that the money is not enough of a justice for me, and I'm sure for you guys.
$12 million is not more important than justice, and it's certainly not more important than holding people accountable. You created a law after her name. You put her on the cover of a magazine, but where is the justice?
Right. We may not have to call it a state of emergency, but honestly, I think about people like Daniel Cameron. I wouldn't be at home sleeping on my bed. The fact that he thinks that this settlement will bring a peace or a resolution to hundreds of families, thousands of names that have still not reached the type of attention that they deserve. That idea to me already makes me want to at least show up at his home, or at least come out there and speak for all of these names that need to be mentioned, like Darnisha Harris, Sandra Bland, and Iana Stanley Jones. There are so many women out there that didn't get a hashtag and are not going to get a settlement, because they're not going to accept. That's not where this ends. Police brutality doesn't end after you get paid off.
I think there's a difference between protesting and rioting and looting. And I think because of all of the attention that Breonna Taylor righteously needed to get, that the city is just trying to prepare itself for it. Now, we in this country have a right to protest, peacefully protest, but also we should not, and I'm not in agreement with people damaging property. And these are usually people that are not part of the movement. It's other groups and other organizations, and there's a mix-up. So I don't think that they automatically think that people that are in the movement are going to do it. I think they're probably trying to protect from these other organizations that might come in and disrupt the city. So,
I think they're setting it up to look like that. I believe that they're setting it up to look like we are out of control and that we don't know how to peacefully protest. I believe that they are setting that narrative up with this state of emergency.
Well, let me ask you this, guys.
Setting it up.
Do you think?
I think they're setting up a false narrative.
Do you think if we get the verdict that we want, do you think there'll be an opposing side that may have a problem with the verdict? Do you think that's going to happen?
That could happen too. That could happen too. That's why I believe that I try to look at people. Everybody that works in government for me is not bad. But we also have to understand that there are organizations out there, and we've seen it all this summer, that are they infiltrate themselves within the movement, and they're making people, they're making the movement look bad, and we have to fight to separate that. But it's up to each city to decide what they want to do, and hopefully we get the justice that we need. We just keep fighting and keep pushing. Just because if the grand jury comes back, it doesn't stop there. You continue to protest, you continue to fight, and you continue to move. That's why we have the ACLU. That's why we have the Legal Defense Fund for the NAACP. There are a lot of organizations that are fighting for justice.
Lonnie, I'm curious to ask you, if you were thinking like one of the people that are infiltrating, right? Not necessarily the people that are a part of the movement, but if you were thinking right now as one of those people that are infiltrating, and they make this announcement of we are in a state of emergency, do you not think that they would be thinking, oh, now's the perfect time to go and infiltrate, because it's going to look as though this is a response to what the outcome of Breonna Taylor was? That's just how I see it. I see it as though if I was part of that infiltration movement, I'd say, oh, guys, this is the perfect time to do that, and then make it look as though it's the people that are a part of the movement for justice. It's them doing that.
Yep.
But that's what they've been doing all summer, though, Munchkin. They've been doing that all summer. That's why I'm saying I believe that's why they set the state of emergency, because they're trying to actually help the movement. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but I think because we have to get away from those organizations that are not allowing us to peacefully protest. It's not fair to people that just want to see change. You can't have these people. They actually had people down here, setting up rocks for people. It was like, if you go and you look at, the actual organizations that were being disruptive, bricks, they had bricks, they had all kind of things. They were like starting fires, all that. That's not part of the movement. Our movement has always been peaceful all the way since Martin Luther King.
That's right.
It was always about nonviolence. And so, I have to applaud a city that's trying to say, I understand that because of the things that's been happening in government, Adrian, that you probably going, they trying to set us up, but it's also deeper things. And I'm trying to pull away the onion peels. I want to say one thing too. This is a democracy. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but we have to keep protesting. We have to keep fighting. That's the only way. And we have to keep voting. Daniel Cameron is a black man, but we're not monolithic as black people. We don't all think the same. And we should have learned that this summer. There are some people that are conservative. There are some people that's liberal. There are some people that's progressive. So what we have to do is find people that are like-minded, that understand that this is wrong what happened to this girl. Absolutely. We vote in the people that are going to actually help us to make sure that we're all protected as a people, especially black women. Daniel Cameron is just a DA that tends to be conservative, and he's just not that person. And he's black. So all last season, I was telling y'all, black people think different. We all don't think alike. So, but we have to all come together as group, as like-minded people, and try to make sure that justice is done. It's for this sister and everybody else that's wrongly accused through the police. That's it.
Yes.
Yes, Lonnie.